say the prayer. Or Radwa, would you like to say it? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you again for coming. Sorry about the delay. Inshallah, we are continuing our discussion from page 137 from the book, The Words. And just as a refresher again, we are discussing the talisman of the wisdom of the world and the riddle of man's creation, and most importantly, the mystery of the reality of the prescribed prayers. And to be able to talk about all of this, we went through the analogy of the palace, and then slowly the analogy introduced the master that described the purpose of the palace. And then we spoke about the two groups of people who are experiencing the palace differently. So I wanted us to take a minute to notice the following, that when it comes to talking about prayer, we're not really trying to find an argument of whether we should or should not pray, or sorry, I want to rephrase. There isn't really an argument of whether I should or should not pray, or whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing to do, or whether it's an easy or hard, or if it's rewarding or not. Instead, the author has been taking us through this journey of having us naturally arrive at the conclusion that, oh, I need to pray. So in other words, it's like, I don't need to argue with myself or try to convince myself of prayer. Instead, use my own senses, my own spiritual, my given spiritual faculties, and my genuine curiosity to arrive logically and comfortably to the necessity of prayer. I need to watch myself arrive at the station of, okay, I need a Lord and I want to learn to love it. So how can I? And so far we've been discussing so many stations of the first group of people who have the genuine curiosity of what's happening in the palace and what's happening within themselves. And those who are looking for meaning, basically. So I believe we stopped here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we stopped at the 6th station, and we can start reading from this paragraph. If you remember otherwise, please let me know.
Yeah, not, that's what I remember as well.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Good to know. Okay, so I'll start reading from here. So then they responded with love and passion to that most merciful one's making himself loved through the beautiful fruits of his mercy. You alone do we worship, and from you alone do we seek help, they declared. Then they responded with thanks and praise to the true bestowers, showing his mercy and compassion through his sweet bounties, and exclaimed, "Glory be unto you, all praise is yours. How can we thank you as is your due? You are utterly worthy of thanks, for all your bounties spread through all the universe, hymn your praises and thanks through the clear tongues of their beings. All your bounties lined up in the market of the world and scattered over the face of the earth proclaim your praises and extol you. Through testifying to your munificence and generosity, all the well-ordered and well-proportionate fruits of your mercy and bounty offer you thanks before the gazes of your creatures. I think what I like most so far is that the author is really emphasizing that it's a choice. You choose to respond, that you respond with love and passion, and that you declare the fact that only the maker of the universe is worthy of worship and of seeking help. Yeah. And the other thing I'm feeling is, if I'm someone who's saying to my Lord, you are utterly worthy of thanks, I feel as though I'm telling my Lord, like, I want to see more of you, or I want you to keep showing me yourself, or I want you to keep communicating to me. It's almost like I'm telling my Lord that, yes, I want you to keep maybe creating me, maybe communicating, speaking, giving. So I honestly find it very beautiful to be able to say that to my Lord. But again, to be able to see it, there are a few stations to go through to come at this stage comfortably, not forcefully, or not, oh, I have to because I am a Muslim. Instead, it's, I need to come at that station. I must, I want to, I feel the necessity of it. Any thoughts or feelings, questions, reflections? I see two hands. Go ahead, Farah, go ahead. And then Agabe, you can go next.
Yeah, my comment is short, but I was it was curious to think about the fact that even though we know that us acknowledging in the form of thanks, and like the way that you were describing, that all you want to be able to communicate to your creator is for that being to not stop doing what you think you are thanking him for, and you don't want it to stop, and you want more of it, and that seems to be your plea and reaction. And what was interesting to think about is, like, we know that my saying it, to myself when we are sitting or thinking about it as we're going about, that has no causal effect on whether, we will be given it, but yet we still feel the need to say it. And I find very few instances that I can think about right now in my life where I do that, where I do make an effort, knowing that my effort does not cause, in that, or has a direct, like, visible effect to me, yet I keep doing it. And but this sort of action of asking, praising, extolling, we do it without, just out of pure need and sort of, what is it, like, to use a tough word, like desperation, like, we can't help it, being the point. So it's an interesting experience in this aspect of our lives, that we keep finding a lot of reason to keep saying it, even though we know that, it's not a matter of our direct causation, but there's something happening either way.
Thank you. I appreciate that reflection. Go ahead, Agabe. And I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. It's not. I have a question. The end of the paragraph, which says "true testifying to your magnificence." So I can understand those well-ordered, well-proportionate fruits of His mercy, how they testify, but I couldn't understand how do they offer thanks to their Creator, and what does it mean before the gazes of your creatures? How do they thank before the gazes of your creatures? It's like a two questions. Thanks.
Thank you. If anybody feels like they can answer that question or help us understand that the last two lines, or sorry, last line, please go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Ali.
Let me try. It is difficult to answer this kind of questions because it depends on your understanding of the word. First, how do you perceive the word? If you perceive the word as just a lump of matter and something meaninglessly, purposelessly happening in a turmoil, and at the end it happened to be in an order, then you cannot really say that the things, well-ordered things in the world really appreciate and thank their Creator. But as earlier Farah said, as far as the creation of the things around us is concerned, there is no cause and effect. Only Creator is creating the universe, which is the cause, effect, nothing else. But, if we understand this, that the universe is nothing but created by a conscious being, so they must have their own, if you like, consciousness, not like human beings. Human beings have their consciousness as we humans experience it, but animals must have their own consciousness, but with a lesser degree it seems to be limited compared to human consciousness. But still, we cannot know their essence of consciousness. So that we can continue that the other creatures also must have their own consciousness according to their capacity, which we cannot really experience it because it needs a little bit imagination. The universe in its existence, in its being, seems to be everything is in communication with its Creator. Everything, in communication with its creator, but not the material side of it, but angelic side of it. So angelic side of the creation must receive the will of the creator that they should be in this way, and they are obeying it. For example, my body, when I look at, when I see my body, according to their own capacity, they obey however their creator willed them to be, according to their capacity. Because the universe itself is so wonderful that we cannot reduce it to a lump of matter. We cannot reduce it because everything in it meaningful. As if we can, let me think about this matter. It is difficult to explain. In terms of when we look at a book, for example, the book is, we know that the book must be written by a conscious being. But the way it is written is a kind of, which is for a materialistically accustomed way of people's thinking, our thinking. No, it is just matter. But if we understand that the absolute creator is writing the book of the universe must be in contact with the writer. What does it mean? Because this absolute creator gives the meaning, and the meaning refers to the book. Now, let's come to the example of the book. Now, when we look at the universe, the example of the book, what we see, we read some sentences there, meaningful sentences, purposefully written sentences. When we read the sentences, we get the meaning. You see that the meaning is reflected in the book. But this meaning connects me to the mind or knowledge of its author. It is difficult, I know it, because we are not used to seeing the beings, animate or inanimate beings, that they may have a conscious side, meaningful side. This meaningful side, for example, when I, simple example, everybody gives this example. When I look at a, let's say, beautiful chirping bird, what I do here is if I am reading a book, I see the beauty manifested in it, and this beauty takes me to the beautiful creator, connects me to the beautiful creator. This is the mysterious side of the creation. We are communicating with the bird, but at the same time, through the bird, we are communicating with the creator of the bird. And this communication is taking place, as the author says here, a conscious relationship. Matter doesn't have a consciousness, but the way the matter is arranged, for example, I think before going this is a very subtle subject. For example, the ink and the paper don't have consciousness, but meaning refers me to the author. I say, I love the author of this book, although I haven't seen the author. Even somebody metaphorically uses, I love this book, it means not because it is appearance of the, it is pages or the size, etc., or the decoration if there is on it, but the meaning in it corresponded to my or responded to my expectations. I benefited from it, and the meaning is the meaning side of the book, not the ink. Ink has no consciousness. I mean, for the moment, as a comparison, we can say this. And the paper doesn't have a consciousness, but the meaning connects me to its author. That is the aspect of creation that we are not accustomed with. We are not really communicating with this universe as a means of for us, as a means of communicating with its creator. These are the as if transmitters, or no, not the transmitter. Let me see, think of the word. In between, how do you say? Playing in between me and the creator.
Intermediaries?
Intermediaries between me and its creator. And we are not accustomed as secularly educated people, we are not accustomed to see the conscious aspect of the creation, which is called in the Quranic explanation, angelic side of the Malakutiyya of the existence. We only see the mulk, it means property, with a better side of the existence. We don't see the angelic side of the existence. That's why we don't have a proper understanding of what angels are. We just imagine something flying in the air with wings and beautiful child or girls or whatever. So we are not accustomed with this. That's why we need to train ourselves. I know it is difficult for us to understand this, but at the same time, since it is mentioned and somebody wondered what it means, we have to understand that they have their consciousness according to their capacity. In a summary, very brief summary, according to their capacity, which looks to their meaningful side. It means consciousness side. We have to train ourselves. That is why the Prophet was giving salam to objects, mountains, houses, for example. These are the objects mentioned in the hadith. But I'm sure he must be giving salams to trees and clouds and everything around him. Communication, we have to get used to this understanding. Although looks like imaginary, but it is very interesting. We have to try to see that the objects, their material side is different from like the paper and the ink side of the book, but the meaning side of the book that is what is mentioned here. So they offer, the creatures offer their thanks before the gaze of your creator, as if they are thanking, they are happy, as if, but according to their capacity, never compare it with our capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. I understood, just wanted to give a point also. The analogy you gave, the book analogy, what is the difference in between the analogy and the universes? Because the author wrote the books and he's not in touch, in connect with the book anymore. But the author of universe is always connected with the universe. That's why there is a mandatory connection between universe and author, right? That is the difference.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. And thank you, Brother Ali, for trying to explain this. All right. I think I'm ready to move on. If anybody would like me to stop here, let me know. Okay. Then they responded, saying, God is most great. Before the manifestation of divine beauty, glory, perfection, and majesty in the mirrors of beings, ever changing on the face of the universe, they bowed reverently in their impotence and prostrated in humility with love and wonder. I'm going to read it one more time. Then they responded, saying, God is most great. Before the manifestation of divine beauty, glory, perfection, and majesty in the mirrors of beings, ever changing on the face of the universe, they bowed reverently in their impotence and prostrated in humility with love and wonder. So again, for them to be able to say God is most great, they had to witness the divine beauty, the glory, and the perfection in the mirrors of beings. So they had to treat beings as though they're reflecting divine names or divine qualities. And then they went forward and bowed because they understood how needing they are. And then they prostrate in humility with love and wonder. I totally understand love, why I would like prostrated in humility with love. I wonder what wonder here means. I'm just thinking out loud. Go ahead, Agabe.
Yeah, that's what I meant in my previous interpret in the comment, because this book, the analogy of book, like it is, as it says in the paragraph, it is ever changing. This is not like a static book. That's why the author of the book has to be always connected, I guess, with the book. I don't know if it's correct.
Go ahead, Farah.
Yeah, the word wonder is an interesting one to reflect on. In one sense, it's it speaks to the fact that it is unlike anything we witness or can witness. So it is in other words, like a miracle. You know, it's like every time we're just amazed that this can, only because we, in our lifestyle or in the way that I think most of us seem to have been growing up in this, our first view of things is just as they are. Like, for example, continuing the analogy of the book, we look at the text and we just sort of see the text as, you know, just lines on the paper, and we're like, this is it, right? Whatever that I am seeing in terms of its shape and physical qualities or its form and features. But as soon as you connect with the meaning of it, I think in your mind, another image appears. And that is wondrous in the sense that that same experience changes into something beyond what you had even experienced it to be. Maybe an example would be I walk into a room and I find it all, full of gifts and, it's all decorated and all the things that I like. And I look around it and I only see, objects and things and, they look good, but I have no other information. But as soon as I find out that, oh, my family or my friends had been planning for this for so long and they went out and got everything very particularly for me, that same experience fills me with wonder or with this sense of wonder, and it gives it an entirely different meaning that, let's say, was not within my purview when I first encountered it. And so I think it is this feeling when we view an object and suddenly when we connect with its meaning, I believe that its appearance changes in our mind. Suddenly it feels beautiful or, shocking or whatever not, even though physically it's the same thing that we experienced a few moments ago. But within its meaning, it's an entirely new or unique and is it as if it came into existence for us at that moment. So that's what I think I can understand from this word.
Thank you very much. And I hope, Agabe, your question is clearing up for you, or like you can start to see the meaning that we're trying to get from the text. But if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was clear. Just another question I have. It's not maybe related to the topic we are discussing now. Can we say the philosophies like oversized because at least they refer to something metaphysic, just being in the matters? Thanks.
I'm not sure I understood. So are you saying that is the question, are philosophers stuck to think of only the metaphysical?
Yeah, the scientists, they are just stuck to think everything in terms of matter, but the old philosophies, at least they are thinking something over matter, which they call metaphysic. So I thought maybe like they are more rational than scientists, if we can say, yeah.
Okay. So is the question, are they more rational, or are you commenting that they can be more rational?
Yeah, I'm just asking, are they more rational compared to scientists?
I mean, I guess so, if you have to compare them to scientists, but I think philosophers use a completely or come from a different base. Go ahead, Brother Adi.
When we speak the word philosophy, when we say scientists, etc., we have to qualify them. What do I mean by qualify them? Philosophy, which kind of philosophy? Materialist philosophy, idealist philosophy, or those people who accept physics and metaphysics somehow, whatever. And the scientists also, there are believer scientists, and they really admire the creation in the universe or in human beings. Those scientists who study animate beings, they admire it. So we have to always qualify that materialist philosophers, or not really very strict materialist philosophers that is open to, for example, the alternative that this world is the somehow the reflections of another world. That is, so there is a meaning. They call it, matter and mind, or physics and metaphysics, because they are somehow. But whatever they do, we have to look at ourselves, and even the scientists. Of course, we have to be aware what is going on, because most of the people nowadays think that scientists are the people whom we should follow. But they don't come up with materialist scientists that don't come up with a satisfactory answer. They reduce every being to a result of accident. We have to qualify, specify which kind of attitude they have, and then we can speak maybe the materialistically minded people, this kind of, or not really materialistic minded people. They see the meaning of the word. For example, when we, let's say, when we love something, beauty, admire it, and really appreciate it. And I see that on the wall, you have some pictures that means you love these pictures, the beauty of them. Aren't you not communicate? If you were not communicating with them, why would you hang them on the wall and wanted to see them on every occasion? It means there is a communication between you and the beauty, meaningful side of these frames there on the wall. We have to take into this account and say that we cannot reduce the existence of the universe to only lump of matter and some movements in the matter. We cannot do that. Human beings know that we communicate with the universe, we admire it, the universe. And through admiration, we love the creator of the universe, source of the existence of the universe, through this admiration. So we have to develop this understanding and train our feelings, how to communicate with the rest of the world, that we consciously are aware of their qualities, their meaning, what they refer to me, what they remind me, so that I will be in contact with the creator of, or the provider of this universe for me. Another thing is why human beings prostrated, or this, with non-conditioned, biased people, they prostrated in humility with love and wonder. Of course, the human beings have I wanted to emphasize why humility is important. Human beings have been given the option to stand before the Creator, reject it, and declare it his own existence as if he is the creator and owner of its own existence. We can do that. That's why we need humility. Very much so that it is our main duty. First of all, we need to be really very modest. Why? Because we cannot really create anything. We don't know how we came here. We don't know. We know we are given existence, but I don't deserve anything. I'm conscious of everything around me. So, but I have the option to reject it, to deny it. If you like, to stand straight before the Creator, saying that, no, I am here to decide about my own existence. I can do that, but rest of the universe, apart from human beings, they don't need to humiliate. They don't need humility. They don't need prostrate physically, because They already declare their humility. They have no option to stand arrogant before their creator. Only with one being, human beings can do that. That's why we are called or reminded to be very careful about our this aspect of our being. You know, I can be arrogant, or I can use humility and understand that I am in debt to my creator for every quality given to me. I have to declare it within my own human capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was a perfect comment right before we read the following paragraph. Then announcing their poverty and need, they responded with supplication and beseeching to the possessor of absolute riches, displaying the abundance of his wealth and breadth of his mercy, and declared, from you alone do we seek help. It's kind of funny when I read this, that at the end of the day I declare to my Lord, it's you alone that I seek help, when I have when I have really nothing, like I'm not doing anything other than asking from him more and more and more and more. But I think in this action of asking, I'm admitting how much I need my creator. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, Brother Ali, go ahead.
Now, the seeking help from our creator, of course, should not, you are all aware of it, should not be reduced to only, oh, I need a house and I need a car, simple examples. So please, God, provide me a car and give me a house. No, no, no. As you said, actually, I think you did it, you said it consciously, that through our existence and the existence of all our qualities and the sustaining of all the qualities in our existence, we don't want to lose it. We need his help. Why? We cannot really have any of them. We cannot really sustain any of them as a result of our using our power of human qualities. So that is why everything in the universe, in our eyes, in our understanding, for example, looking at the sun. Now, sun is emitting light, whatever it is, photon or whatever, particle, wave, whatever they say, they just jump from one point to another. The materialist physicists, they don't know exactly what light is really. They say that they don't know exactly, but even they know. How do they explain their existence? That's something else. Now, looking at the sun, do you think for the existence of the sun, it cannot give existence to itself. It needs somebody else to give him existence. It has the quality of something, in order to emit the light. Can itself be the source of light? Itself prefer to be the source of light rather than, for example, being like a moon? Can it? No. It seeks help in its modesty, if you like. Even like the way it is created demonstrates that it has no will, it has no choice. It has to be as it is created. So we should include we seek help from you. Every creature with their every qualities, they seek help from their creator in order to exist, in order to have these qualities, in order to sustain these qualities. So we have to use this, we, not only human beings, but every being in my world, in my universe, if you like, must join in my understanding. We, all the universe, seek your help only, or seek help from you only. No one else can give any help to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, I'll move on to the next paragraph. Then they responded appreciatively to the all-glorious Maker's displaying the subtleties and wonders of his antique art in the exhibition of creatures, exclaiming what wonders God has willed. Observing and applauding them, they declared, how beautifully they have been made, what blessings God has bestowed. Holding everyone witness, they say in wonder, come, look at these, hasten to the prayers and to prosperity. This just, I think it's a very interesting relationship between me and my creator. And I just continue to appreciate that the author is kind of, quietly insisting on the idea that I can respond appreciatively to everything I see. And I like the word art here specifically, because I see that the author is keeping it open, like he's not specifying something in the universe, it's that everything is art, and definitely he's not speaking of the physical qualities of the art, but what's beyond the physical qualities. So again, it's almost like for me, as the reader of this, it's like an invitation of how much art do you see, or how much do you think of the things around you and within you as art, as work that is deserving to be observed, and it's deserving to be applauded, and deserving to be called beautiful, and then deserving to actually invite others to come and see it. And then as a response, or even maybe an extension of the response, because even engaging in the thought is one response, but going a little beyond would be to engage in the physical response of prayer. Any comments here, or reflections or feelings? Okay. And they responded with submission and obedience to the monarch of pre-eternity and post-eternity's proclamation of the sovereignty of his dominicality in every corner of the universe, and the manifestation of his unity, declaring, we hear and we obey. They affirmed his unity. Again, I find it fascinating that at the end of the day, I get to affirm the unity of all of this. Like it's actually I don't know, it's like the creator is even gifting me more. Like, here you go. You can also affirm my unity. You too can say and respond. So it's almost another gift. Any feeling, anything anybody wants to share? Oh, I see. It's actually okay. Go ahead, Brother Ali. And I hope everybody's okay. We're probably gonna be maybe 5-7 minutes more.
We
I hope.
started late, yeah.
Go ahead.
Technical reasons, I couldn't open and get into another of our friends helped me, and it took time. So, anyways, we have to know that this is for our understanding. So when we look at the universe, we see that every being in it. For example, we took the sun as the example. When we see the example of the moon, so the sun, sorry, it doesn't matter, anything, but let's say the sun. We understand that the sun, its existence, cannot choose anything else but obey the way it is created. It is an example for us. So as a conscious being, I have to take the example of the universe as they submit themselves to the creator. They cannot really be arrogant before their creator. How come then I can be arrogant? What is the difference between me and the sun? We both exist in the same way. We are given both in the same way, existence in the same way. It happened to be the sun. I happen to be the human being according to not my choice, not the choice of the sun. I can think of it as an extension of comparison between me. Did I choose to be a human being? No. Did the sun choose to be the sun? No. We have very similarities, but because I have the free will, I can deviate from my reality. I confirm my reality. That is very important for human beings because it means we are here for a training, for education. So everybody is treated in the school. Teacher teaches everybody in the same way, in the same class. But some students learn, some students don't pay attention as much as the others. Some students don't come to the class, deny that they are students. Exactly the same thing is going on in this world. Some beings in this world, human beings, say, we just happen to be by ourselves. I don't want to take a lesson from it. I don't want to learn anything from this creation, but I want to utilize it. They are so opportunist understanding. I have to exploit the universe rather than take a lesson from their existence and apply it to myself. What is the difference between sun emitting the light and me thinking? I am giving this capacity, it's giving that capacity. Did it produce it? No. Did I produce my thinking? No. Can I really reduce my thinking to accidental happening? I'm not crazy. I am a human being. That's why we have to take lesson from the universe. That's why I understand. They say, declare, we hear and we obey. And I say, why shouldn't I say or declare, I hear and I obey? Why shouldn't I? I think the case is clear now. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess when you were speaking, I felt like it's as though I translated what you said as though you're saying, well, if you don't really pay attention, or like if you don't observe and pay attention to what's happening around you, and you don't use your human qualities to build a relationship with your creator, it's as though you're there's a side of you that's sort of asleep. Because I mean, this reading is kind of changing or inviting me to feel that prayer is not something I do, it's more like something that helps me actualize myself. It's a poor use of words, but it's almost like to reach my potential as a human being instead of using myself for other matters. Like there is so much more to being a human being. So in order to arrive at that, one must notice what's happening and observe, and prayer is one of the things to uncover that potentiality. That's all I wanted to say. I think we have time for one more comment, one more question, but I don't think we can read this paragraph today. So if anybody wants to share anything or ask anything. No? Okay. Then I think we should stop here.
Okay, I think that it's time now. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.